I mean, I was just trying to.
You don't want to sit by me?
I was just look. Our green screen's got some imperfections. See, we're like exposed.
Oh, so you're trying to.
I'm trying to cover it up.
Cover the imperfections.
And look, and the shadow's back too. So, let's see if I can adjust this.
Did you ever figure out the lighting? Did you get that one connected?
No, I didn't even try.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it is what it is. I think it looks all right though.
Yeah, I think
our lighting's good.
We had some tech issues and frustrations.
We still do. Look we've got a ghost behind us.
Yeah, when you were closer to me, that wasn't there.
Then okay. Well, see, so you got to come closer to me.
But then I'm too far from my mic.
Well, move your mic. Get on the mic. Get on the mic.
Is that better? I can't move it any closer to me.
Because your drink's in the way?
Because my drink's in the way.
Maybe you have a problem if your drink's getting in the way of your live streaming.
Got too many things on my table. I've got this really cool mug. Where's the camera? Oh, you can't even see it.
Because it's shiny. See, shiny things don't work well with the green screen.
Oh,
that's why I had to take my other hat off.
I'm gonna turn the green screen off for a minute because I think everybody needs to see this. It's really important to me. So, this is my really cool mug. Oh, it's blurry.
Just give it a second. Don't show your face. Hide your face. Pull it back a little bit.
I want you to see my mug.
Well, just put it back here. The people can see it. It's pretty big.
Okay. There. Well, it's a steampunk dragon. So if you can see it, it's really cool. I like dragons. I like steampunk. And it has Dr. Pepper in it. So
there you go.
I didn't go like crazy with it.
We're trying to up our tech game, which is what caused our woes. So hopefully if once we start the actual podcast, people that are listening will, and YouTube, I think the audio is okay, but the way we've been doing it, it's a little echoey if you're just listening to it as an actual podcast. So hopefully this will at least
we brought out the fancy mics.
Yes, we brought out the fancy mics. G'day, Ian. Of course, we have Adam in there. Oh, there.
Hey, my mom. Hello, Mother.
Hey.
Did you see my really cool mug?
I think she saw it in person.
I know.
I've got a cool mug too.
Oh, you're going to show yours off?
Well, this is not new, but I thought it was appropriate since it's Shark Week. It's got a little bit of
I think it's
green screen issue.
Oh, I didn't even see that you turned that light on. Mm-hmm. Look at us. We're so fancy.
Did you know that sharks contain 35% alcohol by volume?
Is that how much you put in there?
I don't know how much I put in there.
What's in there? What are you having? A bourbon?
Bourbon and Coke Zero.
Hey, it's Tony. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony. So, yeah. So what do we got? We got 8 minutes till we start. It's going to be a fun episode. We have our friend Adam on, who is like super knowledgeable on cruising because he is basically our contact for Cruise Brothers, and he's worked on cruise ships. So it's going to be a fun show. And he's been cruising like in the last month.
He's been like in the last week.
Yes. So
yeah.
So that'll be good.
Basically, if there's something cruise I don't know, he's probably the person that I go to.
Can we adjust the greens? Because even the microphone is like looking a little.
You want me to do stuff with
a little funky? See if we can get that to. I know there's some settings.
Yeah.
That we can finagle. There. See, I think that.
Did that fix it? Fix the mic.
Fix the mic. So.
I think we need lighting down here. The problem is, can you move that light down here? You want to just let it go?
I think we'll just let it go because at this point, because I think otherwise we are just living on the edge.
Yeah.
Otherwise, so
I'd like to go on the edge.
Adam's going on the edge.
I know.
I mean, spoiler alert.
I know.
I'd like to go on the edge. There is a chance that we are gonna book another cruise soon, but we'll see. We don't know. I think bourbon tastes better out of a shark.
Bourbon tastes better out of a shark.
Yeah.
Is that going to be your new go-to cup?
Maybe. Does it look like I'm kissing the shark?
It looks like you're
the
doing
shark and
something.
I need some alone time.
Hello, Mallory. That's how she said it.
Is it? Oh, hello, Mallory. Man, I miss those people.
I know, right?
Remember when we used to like hang out with them virtually and stuff, and then they came down and hung out,
and then we like stopped talking to them because they went and like got married and stuff.
Whatever, yeah, whatever.
And now they don't want to be friends with us and talk to us and hang out.
You know what I don't like about this shark cup is that it's got one tooth like right in the center. That is not.
Does it bite your nose?
No, but it just looks dumb. Like, what animal has a tooth in the center? No animal has one tooth in the center.
Stacy wants to know if those are octopuses on your shirt.
They are octopuses on my shirt, and thank you for saying it in the correct way. Yes, they are. I had to bust out the octopus shirt tonight, and since I've lost some weight, it fits me nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because these kind of shirts, I get them and then I wash them and then they don't fit as well, unless I'm skinny. So I'm still losing a little bit, but
you're super
skinny enough. Whatever. I'm skinny enough that this shirt fits me okay. Like, it's comfortable. Feels pretty good.
Mallory says that they miss us too.
Aww.
I'm sure Andrew's there too. Hi, Andrew. I guess we shouldn't leave you out.
No. Hey, Brad.
Brad says, "Hey guys, another Australian.
Australian fan?
We have like half Australia people watching, and then half everyone else. I feel like that's how our audience goes.
I mean, that's how I prefer it. So
yeah.
I mean, I want everybody else too, but
only half of them.
More Australians. Yes. I'd like the entire continent. Maybe not everybody. I'm sure there's people in Australia I don't want, but there's a lot that I do.
That gives us more people to stay with when we move there.
That's right. That's right.
So we can
ulterior motive
from one Australia fan to the next.
Oh boy. Oh, thank you, Stacy.
Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you. Yeah. So
I pulled ahead of Matt, just throwing that out there.
Or behind me, below me.
Ahead, like lost one.
We were tied. We were losing at the same rate, and we weighed like the exact, like to the point, whatever. We were weighing the exact same, and now she's down a little bit lower than me.
Oh, my mom said nice mug. See? See?
Wait, are you talking about this? You just snorted.
Adam said, "Great photo." You like our background?
You like that background? Yes. I'd like to say that we went on the cruise ship to get it, but you know, we
may have borrowed it from someone else.
We had to send Adam out on the cruise to take a picture for our background.
You might hear about it later. All right, we've got 3 minutes. So for those of you that have never watched us before or are just joining us, which everybody that seems to be in the chat are people that we've seen before, but that's okay. We'll go through it again. So in just a few minutes, we're going to start the podcast. Hey, I should put this on there.
You should.
Hey, there we go. In just a few minutes, we're going to start the podcast. Yeah, we're going to start the podcast. We are going to have a special guest on to talk about some cool cruise things. We're going to go about an hour or so, and then we'll run the credits, and then we'll stay on and chat with everyone again. So during the podcast itself, we probably won't be super interactive with the chat unless something super relevant comes up or we ask you a question or something. But our focus is the podcast itself. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Cool.
We just say that because a lot of people do lives, and a lot of the fun of the lives is interacting with the people, and we do like interacting with you guys. But we have to also consider our podcast listeners. So that doesn't always make. Although I will say this podcast is going to be something that people need to come to YouTube and see, because there's going to be a lot of eye candy in this.
You mean me?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's always in it.
I want to say hi to Charles from Clea.
Hey, Charles. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. We're excited to have you.
Yes.
And Jennifer's on. Hey, Jennifer.
Hello,
welcome.
Jennifer. Hello.
I feel like really pumped tonight.
Do you?
I do. I'm like ready.
Arnold?
Yeah, that's what I mean by
She's pumped up.
I'm pumped.
She's ready to podcast. I don't know what that means.
I'm ready to podcast. All right. We've got 1 minute left. Tell us all your things in 1 minute.
That's not going to work.
No,
it's
I
on
know.
delay.
I know. And then we're going to start the podcast and probably not respond to what you said because we're podcasting.
You're setting them up for failure.
At least
It's great.
they know.
That's great, Kimbra. It's great.
Told you I'm pumped and ready to go. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
You're welcome. Hello, Mark.
Hello,
welcome.
Mark. All right. It's like those final seconds.
I know it's one of those things, but usually I'm not ready for this, so I'm gonna go ahead and. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Come with me, we're going on a fantastic cruise. Pick your destination with news, tips, and reviews. But here is an item you might not have thought of. All of the things under the water. Nature surrounds us with elegant features. You can't go on a cruise and not see the creatures. So let's make some magic, let's get ecstatic. Instantly classic, maybe romantic. The wildlife around you, cinematic on your fantastic cruise.
Bon Beanie, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fintastic Cruising. I am Matt.
And I'm Kimbra.
And hey, it is an exciting day because, like we've said the last several weeks now, cruising is happening again.
Cruising is a thing.
And that is so exciting. That is everybody. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's not like it's gone without any hiccups.
No, I mean, there's been things.
There's been things and stuff, but let me just spin that in a positive way. On the whole, those things have been handled and it has not slowed down cruising starting. So
No.
I feel like the more cruise ships go out, the more momentum is building, the more cruise ships are going to go out. It's a good time to be ready to cruise because we're going to get to cruise.
How many days
soon.
until ours? Where are we at?
Like a few months away.
How about 63 days?
63 days.
Yeah.
That's just over 2 months.
And 132 days.
Yeah. So, yes, because we have 2 cruises booked right now.
2.
And both of them are super exciting. I was thinking about this today. So we have 2 cruises booked. And look, at this point, I would be excited for any cruise, going anywhere on any ship. I don't even care at this point. But having said that, both of the cruises that we have booked are like off the charts exciting because the first one is on the Carnival Horizon, which is a ship I'm super excited to be on. And I know you're super excited to be on it.
Yes.
It's going hopefully to the ABC Islands, which, you know, there's a reason I say Bon Beanie at the start of every podcast. And that's has to do with the ABC Islands and never been to Bonaire. You've never been to any of them.
No.
So that's crazy exciting. And the second one is on Virgin. And I am so stoked to go on Virgin Cruise Lines.
And
Virgin Voyages, excuse me.
It's at the end of November and they're starting up in October, maybe September. They canceled some in September. So they're starting up in like October. So we're going to be like one of the first-ish to be on that ship, which is kind of cool.
Kind of like Richard Branson's one of the first, like, I guess, regular people to go into space.
Right.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
The man went into space. So that was exciting. I mean, I'm a science nerd, so that was really exciting to me.
Yeah.
One step closer to space travel for everyone else. Probably not in my lifetime, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're making progress.
Yeah, but all 5 of these ports that we're going on these 2 cruises are all new 5 ports for me.
That's right.
So I'm stoked.
Yeah, and a lot of them are new for me. Because Bimini.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for Bimini.
I know.
I really want to try. I really want to see Bimini. That is super exciting. And
we're missing the Hammerhead Shark Dive by 1 day.
Yeah.
1 day.
Maybe they'll extend it or something. I don't know.
Well,
you know what though? That'll give us
start it early, not extend it. It starts December 1st.
That just gives us an excuse to go back. So
that's right.
There you go. All right. Anything else you want to get on to before we get on to our guest? That sounded weird. We're not going to actually get on our guest. We're going to get him onto the screen.
Look at him laugh. You guys can't see it. He's laughing. I just want to point out that I have a really cool mug. For those of you that are listening, you can't see it. But for those that you are watching, I really like this mug.
Let's just give that as a caveat, because a lot of our people that consume this podcast listen to it as a podcast. And so usually we try to keep it to where it is audio friendly, but I do know that our guest today has a lot of photos and I think even some video.
Nope, just photos.
Just photos. So a lot of photos. So if you are just listening to it, that's great, but you may want to come back over to YouTube and check it out as video as well, because there's going to be some pretty pictures. And you can see my cool mug, which is not new, but it is Shark Week. So I thought it was only appropriate. And as I discovered before the podcast started, bourbon tastes better in sharks.
Are you ready? Are you ready to introduce our guest?
You want me to introduce him?
Well, I'm just saying, as a whole, are you ready to introduce
as
our
a
guest?
half, as a whole, as yes.
As us?
Yes.
So our guest today is Adam the Cruise Man. Adam is super awesome, and he knows all about cruising, and he'll tell you all about himself. But he is, so I am obviously, we are travel agent, travel advisor. But Adam is my, my travel advisor person that I go to if I have any questions. He can tell you.
Do you want
the
me
term.
to get up a thesaurus? Your mentor, your Yoda. He's your Yoda.
Yeah. So if I have anything, he's the person that I go to. So Adam's super awesome.
Yes.
He's cruised a bunch. He's worked on cruise ships. He'll tell you all about himself. Are you ready, Adam?
He has to be. He doesn't have a choice.
And there
hey. How's it going?
Of all,
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Now, first of all, Adam, thank you for representing there with the swag. Got the Fintastic. That was our first Halloween, one of our Halloween shirts.
Yes.
We didn't do one last year because the world was shut down. But
he wore that one of his days for his cruise too.
And
that picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite shirts that we've done.
I wore it with Super Mario.
Yeah.
That's right.
Super Mario.
It was like, oh look, there's our shirt with Super Mario. I thought about that.
Yeah,
I was like,
that was really cool.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, Adam, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are and your history as a cruise person.
So I worked on cruise ships in the 90s. I worked for Royal Caribbean as a purser, like the Love Boat, and did that for about a year. And then I left and I worked for Celebrity as a cruise director, cruise host for about 3 years. So I've worked on ships, been around ships. I've joined Cruise Brothers probably about 7 to 8 years ago, and I've been a team leader for about 2 years. I'd be your team leader, your coach, the guy that helps you.
I like Yoda. I like
Yoda
I like
if you want.
Adam is my Yoda.
And so yes, I've been in the cruise world for a very long time, and I after a year and a half finally got on a cruise ship about 2 weeks ago, and it felt great.
I bet. I mean, look, I'm not going to lie. We're a little bit jealous, but we're also really curious about your experience. So let's just start at the beginning. Like, what was it like getting on the ship, or even booking the cruise? Were there differences that you had to go through to book a cruise right now?
So Royal Caribbean was the one I went on, the Freedom of the Seas. Royal Caribbean is open to everybody, vaccinated, unvaccinated, it doesn't matter. So it was a little different than, I would say, Virgin, Celebrity, Norwegian, all the rest, who are 95% vaccinated, 10% or 5% not. First, they wanted to know if I was vaccinated, because in the state of Florida, they're not allowed to ask you at the port. So they asked me that on the phone, and with multiple emails that came through. That's their way around it. And then they said, well, you have a time to come to the port. It's 2:30. Don't come before that time. So, of course, I'm thinking, well, I'm a travel agent. I get to the port at 11:30. Nope. They say, go downtown, have a drink, come back in 4 hours. You're not getting on.
That's different, because usually in the past, cruise lines have given you a time, but it's kind of like people don't necessarily pay attention to that. But now they're like, nope, no, we really meant it this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought the same thing you guys just said, but no, they mean it this time. They don't know who the CDC is. They are watching. They're on the ship with us. You just don't know who's who. And so they have to be very careful. And they can only let so many people in the terminal. Now, I will tell you that once my time came around, 2 o'clock, actually, they let me in. And within 10 minutes, I was on the ship.
That's
So
cool.
it's very fast. Do everything in the app. Now, I think all the major cruise lines are making you do an app now. So do everything in the app ahead of time. Take your picture, do the health stuff 24 hours before. They have this whole health thing you got to fill out in the app. Your passport gets uploaded, your credit card for your onboard charges. You can book your dining, your shows. Everything can be done in the app now. You don't even have to talk to front desk or anybody on the ship if you don't want to.
Huh.
So that's
your passport was uploaded. Did you have to still show your physical passport to somebody at the terminal?
No.
Really?
So
interesting.
when I got there, first thing they did is they said, are you vaccinated? Or they didn't ask that. They just said vaccinated people this way, unvaccinated people had a different line that had to go to a nurse. So I got in, I went to the left. They said, do you mind if we see your vaccine card? They didn't say we need to see it. They just said, do you mind? And so I showed it. They took a picture. They wrote the dates, or they jotted the dates down, my first one, my second one. And then they gave me a bracelet, a pink or a purple bracelet, which means you're vaccinated. And then they said, go up to the next level. And I went up, they scanned my barcode, and that was it. Never had to pull a passport out, nothing. They just, the barcode had every single thing that they needed on there. So it was simple.
How long ago did you upload your passport? Like, how do you upload your passport?
So
onto it?
I got the cruise because I'm a travel agent. I got it on Thursday to leave on Monday. So that day, that Thursday, that's when I uploaded it. You take a picture of it, or it actually scans. The app will scan your barcode of the passport, and it's the same thing they would do in the port if they would scan your passport. And it automatically just uploads into the app. If you're not able to scan it, you can just type it in manually. It lets you do that. So it's really easy.
That solves a big problem potentially. Like, I just renewed my passport, and one of the things I was super concerned about, it hadn't expired yet, but I wanted to make sure that I had it in plenty of time for my next cruise. But I was concerned because there's that window of time when you renew that you send your passport in and you wait for your replacement. And if it hasn't arrived before your next cruise, I'm like,
you don't have anything.
So I ordered a passport card as well as a passport, thinking next time I'll be okay, because on cruise you can, in the Caribbean, you can generally use that. But if you could take a picture of your passport and upload it or scan it or enter it, like, as long as your passport hadn't expired, even if you'd sent it back, that would maybe solve that problem?
I think you would still want to have your passport just in case.
That's true.
Because you don't know if rules are going to change. You're going into different countries. They're telling you to take your passport with you. So you want to be careful. I wouldn't go without the passport. I wouldn't just go with just a picture. Yeah. Just to be safe.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So the other thing that the app does is you have the lifeboat drill now. You used to have to stand out in the heat or go to the different, that's done. So you watch a video in your app. I did it wrong because I watched it like a couple of times before I got on the ship. You're actually supposed to watch it once you're tied into the ship's Wi-Fi. I didn't know that. So they said, you didn't do the lifeboat drill. Can you please go to this lounge? So I went to a lounge, and it was me and one other person. It was 10 minutes. They talked to us. And then I got a little sticker on my card basically saying I did the lifeboat drill. And that was it. So it's the easiest. if everybody does it. The problem is not a lot of people do it, so they have to keep making announcements. They can't leave. If you have a drink package, they cut your card off until you do go. So I think after the second drink, they cut your card. You can't buy anything. So, that's the only way they can get people to do it. But it is so easy, and I hope it stays. I think all the cruise lines are going that way now. Yeah.
There's like upsides to the pandemic. Like, you can find these little things that the technology has changed, or the procedures have changed to accommodate for COVID. And some of those things are just annoying, most of them, but there are a few that end up being like, this is awesome. Yeah. Like you said, that would be cool, because nobody likes the muster drill. And I think honestly, people might pay more attention if they're not being like cattle herded out to stand, like you said, in the heat. And then just, all you can think about is, I can't wait to get out of here.
And you're so piled in, and nobody's actually quiet, so you can't actually hear what they're saying. So it doesn't even matter like that you're there doing it, because you don't know what they're talking about.
And every time I've gone before, there's always like some little snotty kid like next to me who's like blowing snot. Like there'd be even more of a concern, I guess, now. But I was always like, do not get me sick on this first day of the cruise, kid.
So yeah, now it's all, and if you do it through the app, you don't even have to go anywhere, because the app lets them know. So it automatically, you still have to go visit where your lifeboat station would be. Mine happened to be in one of the lounges, and then you scan your card, and oh yeah, you did it, and they just give you the sticker and you go. Again, so easy. I got on the ship at 2, and I think by 2:15 I was on the ship. And the boat drill was over within 10 minutes. And then I could do whatever. And then later on, they do blow the whistles, and the captain comes on and talks about it, but you don't have to go anywhere. You can be in the bars. Nothing shuts down like they used to. Everything stays open. So it's just a much easier way to do it, I feel.
Yeah. That sounds good. And hopefully people will do it, because, I mean, the alternative is the old way. Do you want the old way? Just do it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was super cool. Your keys, the cabin for me was ready, because when I got on, it was after 2. Everything's the same about the cabins, and I have pictures which you'll show later. Now they give you face masks daily, and they give you hand sanitizer in the cabin. So that's new. It had the little Royal Caribbean emblem on the mask. And daily they're spraying sanitizer stuff on the door handle. One day I came back and I went to open my door and my hand was soaking wet. And the cabin guy was there, and I said, "What?" He goes, "Oh, it's disinfection that we're putting on all the doorknobs, and it's health, it's safe, nothing's going to happen, But now you've just touched it. Now it's on your hands. So in case you didn't use the hand, the hand sanitizers that they give you, there's one other step that they're doing to make sure that everybody's clean and safe."
So they're putting sanitizer so it gets on your hands when you open the door.
They spray it on the door handles, and they leave it on wet, so that when you come to open your door, it happened to me a couple of times actually.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hang on. The dog is just doing something. No, just a second here.
Okay. Take it away.
I took it away. Yes. He discovered a crinkly thing and was crinkling it.
Yay, dogs.
Yes.
So everything is open. All the restaurants, all the lounges. The ship had 900 people on board, I think. I thought it was 1,000, but I found that it was only like 920. And about 1,100 crew members. Okay. So you're literally one and a half crew members to every passenger.
Wow.
It was completely empty. They have, because it's unvaccinated, vaccinated ship, some lounges and bars are designated for vaccinate only, and then some are for everybody. The show lounge, if you're not vaccinated, you go upstairs, the second level, with a mask on the whole time. downstairs is for vaccinated without a mask. One thing that surprised me, because Celebrity, I'll be going on in a few weeks, they're 95% vaccinated, so you don't need to wear a mask anywhere on the ship. Royal makes you wear a mask indoors at all times until you get to where you're going, obviously.
Okay.
When you're outside, you don't have to wear your mask. So that kind of got me surprised, because I thought I didn't have to wear it because I'm vaccinated, but no, that's not the case with Royal. Again, all the other cruise lines that are 95.5, you don't have to wear a mask, but Royal you do. I guess they have too many families. That's why they're doing it that way.
Yeah, and I could see where it would be really hard if they have to maintain that wearing a mask policy for unvaccinated people. It'd be really hard to look at the bracelet and the mask. Like, that would just be a lot. So with the 95%, you don't really have to worry about that, because almost everybody's vaccinated. So it's not really, it's more of a non-issue.
Yeah, but on this ship, because of the way they do it, they have to, I guess, be safe that way, you know. The ice skating show they were operating all the shows. I mean, it was just like being on a cruise a year and a half ago, you know, just with a little kind of, you know, the mask and, you know, not as many people. The ice skating show, because it's a small venue, everybody had to wear their mask. But again, it didn't bother me, because we're used to it. After a year and a half of wearing a mask, I would wear that mask and be on the cruise ship. You know, I wouldn't care. I was on a cruise ship, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I had to wear a mask and still have to wear a mask every day at work. And for now, we don't wear it behind the scenes, but for most of the last year and a half, I wore a mask almost 40 hours a week, set 5 days a week. I got to where I didn't even notice it. So that would not keep me off a cruise, but I'm happy when I don't have to wear it, you know, as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to, like I said, I'll be in Celebrity in about 2 weeks, and it'll be a completely different cruise, I believe. It's, you know, and it'll be curious to see the differences between each ship, you know.
Yes. Still the same line, but I guess, but different, but they still have different policies, like you said. So it'll be interesting. And just, I'm curious to see how things change as time goes on. Like, time is exponentially changing rules, as it has this for everybody this whole time. But now with cruising, that's happening as well. I feel like the rules that are today may not be next week.
They won't. Yeah.
They may be different.
I mean, it changes every day. Friends of ours that are watching this right now, they were on the edge last week, and they were able to get off in every port. And I'll talk about the ports as well that I went to, Nassau and the Coco Cay, but they went to, I believe, Nassau, St. Thomas, St. Martin. They were able to get off in all the ports, no problem. St. Martin, it's already hit the news. People have seen the video. The ship left. Captain Kate brought it back, and people left with luggage on a golf carts. And everyone thought maybe it's COVID, maybe a medical emergency. And then these people that were not vaccinated booked an excursion the right way through Celebrity. That's what they were told. You can only get off in St. Martin if you go through our excursions. And on the excursion, they decided to, take off and tour on their own, which was a no-no.
Right.
So they got back on the ship, walked on like nothing. I guess the tour company notified the ship. Captain Kate found out, brought the ship back to port, and kicked them off and banned them. So now when I go to St. Martin, I have to have a COVID test, or I can't get off into St. Martin because of these people. So it changes. Yeah. It changes by the minute, by the hour. Right now, they're just testing it out. Travel agents, casino people, employees. I think by next month, you're going to start to see some changes. And I think by September, October, it may be a little bit back to normal. And by December, for sure, I think everything should be back to how it used to be, you know?
Yeah. And people need to realize too, that the cruise lines, they have to be super careful, because they've been shut down for so long. Like, they have to dot all their I's and cross all their T's. Like, if you're not comfortable cruising right now because you don't want to get vaccinated or you don't want to follow the rules, please just don't cruise. Like, just
stay home.
Well, I mean, the cruise lines are in the spotlight because they were the big ones that got hit at the beginning. So everybody's watching them. Yeah. Like, what's going to happen.
Right.
And,
Waiting for them to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the other thing that they were doing is over the top, in my opinion, but they have to do it. The lounges had every other chair, so most of the chairs had like X's or signs that just said this is reserved for social distancing. So you'd have a lounge that maybe would have 10.
Uh-oh.
We lost you.
We lost your audio. There we go.
There.
Oop.
Oh. Adam, we lost your sound.
Oop, I don't know if you can hear us. Oop. We lost your audio, Adam. Bear with us for a second.
Yeah.
Well, it's showing him muted
he's
now.
muted now. He's probably trying to fix it.
Figure it out here. While he's doing that, yeah. So that's interesting. I think that, and I see some people in the comments too talking about that. The cruise lines really do need to be careful and stuff, because we want to make sure that they can keep cruising, and the only way to do that is to minimize the risk, even if some of the things are silly or may not even be that really effective. If it doesn't hurt, why not just do it and have a better chance of not having any problems? See if we got Adam back here.
Am I back?
You're back.
All right.
So where did you lose me?
You said there were X's on the chairs, and some of the lounges would have. You went away.
Am I there now?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, okay. So yeah, some of they had X's where you couldn't sit, and then you would sit down where it would say this table's been cleaned, and as soon as you got up, the guy would run over and scrub the chairs and the tables and just overboard. And then they put the sign back, this seat or this table's ready for the next person, So yeah, a little overboard, but I understand they have to do it.
At least they're on top of it. It's better than not.
They were all trained and overtrained. They had to go through extensive testing. So they really know what they're doing, and they're being watched. I mean, the CDC was on board our ship. They told us that, the bartenders were like, we don't know who they are, but we know they're on board, and they're monitoring and they're watching, and, so yeah, I mean, it's a little different, but I was still happy to be on board and back on a ship. We went to NASA. You could only get off the ship if you were fully vaccinated. They told you to bring your vaccinated card. That's the NASA, the Bahama rules. I sent some pictures, which you'll put up hopefully in a minute. And everything was closed. And I said, well, everything's closed. And they're like, well, it'll open at 11. 11 came, 12 came. Everything was shut down. Everything's gone out of business. It's sad.
Oh.
A year and a half without cruising, and a lot of these places just went out of business. A lot of the bars that I used to go to, even Senior Frogs is closed. They're gone.
Wow.
And they're huge in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And then of course Coco Cay, I could stay there all week. That's the best private island I think I've ever been to. I don't know if you guys have been to the new Coco Cay, but
I haven't since they renovated it, but
I've never been there.
It was already my favorite before they renovated it. And honestly,
you won't want to leave when you go now.
That's the exciting thing when they're doing these 2 days at Coco Cay. I'm like, well, that sounds amazing. Like I wanted that before this all happened, but I love this. The snorkeling at Coco Cay is actually wonderful. And so all the other stuff I think is cool, but I'm like, that'll just keep more people out of the water and I'll have more snorkeling to myself. So,
I mean, again, there was 900 and something people. Brian, I don't know if Brian's on here. He was watching one of my lives and he said, what happens when there's two ships? Everybody's at the pool. And I said, well, that's only one pool. And then I showed him all the beaches that were empty, completely empty. And I'm like, there's plenty of room for 3 ships. This private island could hold a lot of people, It just so happened everybody wanted to be with that swim up bar. That's why everybody was in that pool, you know, in that one Oasis pool.
Well, speaking of photos, I know you've got a lot more to talk about, but do you wanna start on some of those photos?
Sure. Yeah, and I'll explain them.
Yeah. Let's see if I can figure it out.
Okay, so this, I believe, was in the terminal. They have that all over, so they're just letting people know, you know, masks, social distance.
There we go.
Are you able to?
All that window stuff.
Mm.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good. You're
yeah,
good.
we can
I'm
hear you.
just trying to figure out my computer. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah, they're pretty. So that's the terminal. When I got there at 11:30, and they told me go somewhere else and come back later. And there's the ship in the background. That's Terminal A, brand new terminal that Royal Caribbean has. Beautiful terminal.
Speaking
State
of
of the
ship,
art.
I don't think you actually said what ship you were on.
Yeah, he said.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the Freedom of the Seas.
Freedom of the
Oh,
Seas.
did he say
Yeah.
that?
He did. Yes.
Oh, just kidding.
No,
Joking.
don't worry. So you see right there to the left, that's where you show your vaccine card and you get your bracelets. Before you even get into, that's like literally walking in the front door.
Okay.
So now to the right is where the unvaccinated people go to see a nurse and they do the test and whatnot.
What do you think the ratio was of vaccinated to unvaccinated on the cruise?
I don't know, but they did tell Royal Caribbean, the rep told me there was a lot of employees on the ship that were not vaccinated on purpose. They were testing it out.
Okay.
And they were all employees of Royal Caribbean's, like in the headquarters.
So they were pretending, or
Yeah.
maybe they were pretending to be non-vaccinated just to
test it again. I don't know, but there was a big line. They were all in a separate area. And then when they came in, they're separated and they go, you know, to a different area. And I saw a few people leaving with suitcases. So I would assume they didn't, you know, they got a negative test or something. Because it was, you know, around 1:30, 2 o'clock, people were, you know, some people were leaving with all their suitcases.
Huh.
So I would only assume that's what that was, but I don't know.
Interesting.
Go to the next one. All right, so it's the cabin. This is a balcony cabin. Again, it looks just like if you've ever been on a cruise, they look exactly the same. Nothing really different except for the new masks and hand sanitizers. It's just another view looking towards the balcony. And you can see on the desk there, on the desk there, that's where the masks are and the hand sanitizers. And every day they gave me more. I stocked up on those, actually.
Were they, I'm assuming they were like the disposable paper masks?
Yeah, they're sealed. Now, Celebrity apparently gives you nice cloth ones. Like really, cool. Yeah. So I'll be interested to see how they look. That's the terminal, which is beautiful. It's Terminal A for Royal Caribbean.
That is a pretty building, yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, I saw this and I almost cried because remember, Royal Caribbean, they let you know every day what day it is.
Yeah.
I saw that and we're back.
When you got on the cruise ship, like how emotional was it? Like the first time I get on a cruise ship, I just feel like I'm gonna like be bawling. I cry at movies, though I'm that kind of person, but I just feel like it's gonna be so emotional.
Soon as I did I was live streaming on Facebook as I was going up the gangway. Soon as I hit that gangway, I ripped my mask off. I screamed, "We're here! Something, you know, we're back!" Yeah, right? I had a lot of emotion. And then the guy goes, "You have to go to your lifeboat drill." So that kind of killed it. But yeah, but no, a lot of emotion. I think that whole day, I was, you know, just a lot of emotions going through me. Yeah. Just to be back on a cruise ship. I'm like, I couldn't believe it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's us leaving Miami. I was actually at Chops, the specialty restaurant. So that was out the window and there's the steak that I had, the filet.
That looks good.
The food was amazing.
What is that yellow stuff on the side?
That's Béarnaise sauce.
Oh, it's very yellow for Béarnaise. Isn't Béarnaise usually white?
No, it's a mix. I don't know, but I guess maybe the picture. I mean, I guess it's white on the steak.
Okay. It looks good.
Yeah, so there's apple pie a la mode. So the food hasn't changed. I will tell you that it is still amazing. It was probably even better because I haven't had it in so long. Every
Right.
menu or every restaurant you go to, you have to use your phone. And if you don't have a cell phone, they do have menus, but they prefer you to use the code here. That's the other thing. The app has every single menu in every single restaurant uploaded. It's correct. It's not a dummy menu. It's the real menu. And you can go to your app and pull it up, or you can just use your phone to this code here, and the menu comes right up.
That's cool.
So that's another new thing that they're doing, the QR codes. Daily, I was told they weren't going to do the dailies. I think Carnival's not doing the dailies.
Okay.
But Royal's still doing it, and they're still doing the towel animals. And I got a little emotional too when I came to my cabin and saw this at night.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes, I will. That'll be another one.
I know.
We're just gonna cry the whole cruise, aren't we? Well, I will. You don't cry it.
Wow.
You're just like we watch like super sensitive movie, and you're like,
I cried once.
That's interesting. I know some people really like those physical copies, and I think it's maybe something that they should make available if people want them. But like, I don't really use the physical copies anymore. I just use the app. So
I use the app. Yeah.
I don't typically, but actually on our last cruise, I highlighted the stuff that we did and I brought them all back. Yeah. And when we talked about our cruise on the podcast, I used those.
It's beneficial.
That's kind of what I did.
I could remember everything that we did.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe
go ahead.
Maybe just making it available to people if they want it would be the way to do it. And then if they're like, yeah, I'm good.
Even quarter sheets. Like, I don't need the full thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, I just took them back to the office so everybody could see them. And, I never even I just collected them and put them in my suitcase. I used the app, because if I want, something, there's the promenade. And now that's literally in the middle of the day.
Wow.
Huh. There's nobody there.
There's nobody there. I wish that it would be like this all the time, but it won't be. Eventually there are going to be more and more people coming back.
I was going to say, did that change the feel of the cruise? And if so, was it in a positive, negative way, a little of both? Like what?
To me, I felt it was a positive because there was still enough people to talk to. I made friends wherever I went, especially at Coco Cay, but I liked it that it wasn't crowded. I never, ever waited for an elevator. And I was always the only one in the elevator if I did get an elevator. There wasn't anyone ever, it opened up. There was nobody in there the whole week, So no lines. Even when I got off the ship, they said you can get off whenever you want. Just don't stay past 10:30.
Wow.
They didn't rush you off, So I'm hoping that, they can kind of continue that, but when they start getting more people, they figure out a way, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard when you have
Just
3,000.
Yeah. What is the normal capacity of Freedom of the Seas? Off the top of your head?
I think it's 3,800. If I'm not, I may be wrong. Maybe somebody can look it up real quick, but it's up there. It
was like almost a quarter of the passengers then. Like
it was 35%. They said 36% is what they said, but I don't know. It just was empty to me.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm used to seeing this in the morning, getting up at 6 in the morning when everyone's still sleeping. Right. This was 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
What a great time for vloggers to film ship tours.
Tons of vloggers.
Normally I have to get up at like 4 in the morning to do a ship tour and not have a bunch of people in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sleep in and get your ship tour.
Capacity is 3,782. So
I was right. I was right there. Yeah. It's 38. So yeah. And what about staff? Does it tell you how many crew?
Oh, it does. Yes. Let me 4515.
So total 4515?
Oh, crew is 1360.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
So they had mostly all the crew on. They had about 1150, I think. So most of the crew's back.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that's your the pizza area. On this ship, it's a Freedom class. Or Independence class, I guess. So it's double the size of the Voyager class. So you have the pizza spot, and then you have the sandwich spot at the other end of the ship, where the Voyager class is it all in one.
Huh.
That's cool. I have yet to get onto a more modern, large size Royal Caribbean ship. I'm anxious to do that because the biggest I've been on have been like we were on the Brilliance or
Okay.
kind of that class. And then and it's a totally different experience being on one of these newer, bigger ships. It looks like.
Well, the newer ones all have that promenade, and now the ultra class, the quantum classes. I want to get on those. That's the one with the arm at the front.
Right.
That one is supposed to be amazing. Like just the whole design of it. It's different. They've changed it, but I'm used to promenade. And how all the chairs are kind of separated. You can't move those chairs. They'll say something. You see the soda machine in the back there? You can't even get your own soda. Somebody has to do it for you.
Oh, wow.
You can't even get your own pizza. They'll tell you, pick a seat, we'll bring it to you. Huh. So you're not touching the food in any way. There is a little card, if you can see on the table there, that says it's been cleaned and sanitized.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. And then that's, I think, one of the bars or lounges. Again, spaced out. They all have that little card. Again, this was 2 or 3 or 4 in the afternoon. There's literally nobody there.
If you're a germaphobe, this may be the best time of your life to cruise.
Trust me. It was clean before, but it is overly clean now. Like literally. That's the wine. I think the vintage. Again, those tables have that big card on it that tells you can't sit there. That it's reserved for social distancing. There's that car that they have on all these bigger ships with the promenade. They always have a real car on there.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a Ben and Jerry's on this one. Again, the smaller ones may have it all in one. This one has everything spread out. This is one of my favorite ships. I mean, I like the Oasis class, but I do like the Freedom class. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's the right size, in my opinion.
Does the Ben and Jerry's cost money to buy ice cream?
You have to pay. I think it's $2 or $3. It's not included. Now, here's a little fun fact. Right above, you see those inside cabins that look into the promenade?
Yeah.
Nobody had those, of course, because you're only allowed balconies right now. But when those are open, whoever gets that cabin, that's a promenade inside cabin, they get free Ben and Jerry's the whole cruise.
What?
Because if they look out their window, they see the rear of the cow there. That's a fun. It's a true. It's a fun fact that if you get that cabin, and that cabin, by the way, is sold out years in advance. People ask for that cabin because you get that free Ben and Jerry's the whole week.
That's a perk. Sometimes perks are not such perks, but that, especially for me, because I'm an ice cream eater.
You want to book the cow butt?
You better book that.
That would be bad for me. Do you know how fat I would be at the end of that cruise? It would be bad.
I would even.
Did we lose you again?
I like Ben Jerry's, so.
Did we lose you?
Oh, can you hear us? Uh-oh.
We there? Uh-oh.
We lost
Adam again. See if he comes back here. What a beautiful ship. I mean, I know you have only been on the Brilliance, right? But
yeah.
I mean, this is obviously this looks way different than that. Like it doesn't even look like the same cruise line.
Oh no, not at all. That's why I
think he's back there.
Oh. Okay.
Can you hear me?
You're back.
You're back.
You're back.
All right. I don't think this air thing is working. So let me just pull this out. All right. So this is the wine. You can hear me, right? This is the wine or champagne bar. This is a vaccine-only bar. Oh. So you have to be vaccinated. You see the ropes?
Yeah.
And they check your card, not just the bracelet. You put your card in, and it tells you if you're vaccinated or not.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah. The front desk. Have you ever seen the front desk of a ship this empty? Ever?
No. And only at like 4 a.m.
Right.
when I've woken up early to do a ship tour.
Again, middle of the afternoon. Everything's done on the app, and there wasn't that many people on the ship, so they were never bothered. The front desk people must love having the ship this empty.
Right?
All right, there's your pool deck. Beautiful. The weather was perfect the whole cruise, but again, everything is you don't have to wear your mask when you get outdoors. So people were just ripping that thing off as soon as they went up onto the pool deck or outside. And everything again is social distance. The chairs. One thing I found was interesting. If you have a family of 4, the chairs are 2 and 2. You can't bring 2 over.
Oh,
You have to stay separated, which I thought was pretty strange, but that's, I guess, how they want to do it.
that is strange. It could work to your advantage depending on the family.
Yeah, but it's probably because they've got them sitting in a certain way, and if you bring them over and then you get up and leave, and then somebody hasn't come over to fix it yet, then it just becomes a problem.
I was going to say, working where we work and having to deal with these sorts of issues, like we know how people will do. They will take advantage of any situation to bend the rules, and then we have to deal with it. So it's not.
And the other thing is, you know how you have to take the towels, you have to check them out.
Yeah.
So they do that now as well. You put your key and you have to return them. There was no chair hogs because there was so many chairs.
Right.
You could basically pick any one you wanted, even the stuff on top. I had one of those, I don't know if you call them cabanas or whatever, up on the top there. And Nick may have a picture of it. Yeah.
Nice.
There's a ton of them empty completely.
Wow. That's cool.
Oh, Matt, we need to get on a cruise.
I wonder if the chair hogs kind of lament that. Like they're like, oh man, I really miss hogging this chair.
And you see that cabana there on deck 11, the one below, Super Mario, that's his office. They take the bed out. They have a desk and his computer. Somebody said he's at his office on deck 11. I didn't know what they meant by that. And I walked by on the pool deck and he's sitting there typing away in one of those. Which was funny, but
did he just get back on the ship? Like
he lives on the ship, yeah.
But I mean, where he wasn't obviously when everything was closed.
He had his own place, I think, in Miami. He has his own place. But he lives on the ship most of the year. Now that we're back, he's on this one, and then he'll go to the Symphony when that comes back next month.
Okay.
And they all know him. I mean,
oh yeah.
And he says he pays just like anybody else. I don't know what he does for a living, but he's got the world record of the most cruises with Royal.
I know the Zinganos have interviewed him several times, and he's a scuba diver because he's talked about like scuba diving around the ship and stuff like that. So it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, he was super nice. And that's just one of the other. And by the way, this ship, I don't know, I think it was $8 or $9 million renovation. So all this is brand new. The ship went into dry dock before COVID. So literally brand new everything. Carpets, and that's the pool deck looking back at and there's your backdrop. So they have this cocoa, I don't know what they call it, but it's like a Caribbean vibe with coconuts and all these different island drinks, and that whole area right there is part of that bar.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's a Super Mario. Yeah, and there's your shirt.
There it is.
Nice.
That's the diamond, the Viking crown looking out to the ship. Nobody there.
Which is perfect. That's like my favorite thing to do on Royal Caribbean ships is just go up there during the day and like sit, find a nice relaxing place to sit and just draw and it's just like, I love doing that. It's
quiet. Nobody there. There was a couple of bloggers actually. I think Cruise Critic was out there doing a report when I was up there. So they were sitting there doing something. And that's this is a new venue on the ship. This, I don't know what was there before, but this is right outside the casino. It's a Playmakers. It's the sports bar. it was packed. I mean, packed, and had all the different games and you know, you can get wings there and popcorn, and you know, I think it's free. It's part of the, you know, you can just order it.
That's
Free
cool.
wings?
Right?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
This is, I don't know what this. Oh, this is the piano bar, but there's a name.
Okay.
Oh,
I
That's
forget.
very open, and it looks like a very open and big piano bar.
It again. Every other table had that sign, you know, so it was empty. There might have been 3 people in there when I went a couple of times.
Huh.
I forget the name. If anyone knows, I forget the name of it. It's always in all the Royal Caribbean ones.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it either.
I can't think of the name right now, but that's
Something Keys or yeah.
I can look it up.
somebody will probably write it in the comments.
Yeah.
It's there's the ice skating.
Nice.
Phenomenal show. I actually, one of the ice skaters knows me from Instagram, so she recognized me, and then, you know, we chat through Instagram, and then I was tagging them all, and then afterwards, I got to meet a bunch of the ice skaters after, which was pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah, they were happy that we're all, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
They had everybody sitting at the front, not at the sides, and everybody had to have their mask on the whole time.
Huh.
Is it the Schooner Bar?
That's it. The schooner.
She was on a mission. She was
I
going to
know.
find it.
That's where they always do the, you know, the piano bar, but they always do the
trivia.
Yeah.
That's where we spent most of the time, a lot of our
It
time.
is, yeah.
Because it was usually pretty empty, and then of course
Yeah.
that's where all the trivia was.
Yeah. I was thinking of like, I guess Carnival has a more closed in
Yeah.
piano bar where they do like the,
Yeah.
They have theirs closed, and yeah. That's the ice skater that knows me from Instagram.
ah.
So yeah, it was pretty good. There's NASA. Again, you had to be vaccinated to get off. They even tell you bring your papers because you may be checked. They want you to wear your mask at all times, inside and outside, or you'll be fined and you'll be put in jail.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see anybody wearing masks. The cop told me just have it on your wrist. If we can see it on your wrist, you're fine. But there was nothing open. I mean, everything was closed.
That's sad. I hope they can rebuild their economies.
Yeah.
So do I. You know, so do I, because it you know, it was one of my favorite stops. You know, when I worked on ships, we used to go there, and even as a passenger, you know. And there's one of the signs. It tells you to bring a copy of your COVID vaccination certified with you. So they're all over the place. Margaritaville just opened, so I tried to go there, but they said we're not open till 5 p.m. So there was really nothing open. There was like
they're not catering to cruising at that point,
Yeah.
I guess, because
like, why are you going there? Yeah, if you can't, you know. I'll find out how, you know, those are a couple of the bartenders and boleros that was there most of the time. These guys worked in, the one guy there on the right works in Cancun. So during this whole thing, he was a bartender in Secrets Hotel in Cancun. So he always had a job during the, you know, and he said,
Oh,
Royal called him, you went right back to work.
Yeah.
And there's the hibachi. Half the restaurant's vaccinated, so we were all on the vaccinated side, and then there's the unvaccinated on the other side. They really do segregate you, which I think they're going to have to somehow get around that, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
I love hibachi, but this was the best hibachi I think I've ever had because it was on a ship.
I've not. I think I've had hibachi once a long time ago, and that's it. So I would like to try it again.
Oh.
So that's kind of, you know, in Carnival they have that hot lava cake.
Yeah.
This is kind of the same thing. This is Royal's way of doing it, but it was delicious.
It looks good. It needs some ice cream though, but it looks good.
Yeah, I guess I could have gotten ice cream. There's Coco Cay.
Nice.
Again, one of my favorite islands or ports.
Yeah,
My
both.
second time since we did it. I didn't like the old one. I don't know. After you go to this one, you're never gonna want to. Even Labadee, you're not even gonna want to go to. Just some signage that they have on Coco Cay.
Peacock.
Peacock.
And because this is Royal Caribbean's private island, you don't have to wear a mask. There's no rules, no social distancing, none of that.
Huh.
It was like completely being a normal world, you know.
Taking a break. Take a break from all of.
Yeah. That's the pool that everybody wants to go to.
Wow.
I was actually first off the ship, so I was able to go there.
That's cool, though. That is a big pool.
That is.
It's huge. It's the Oasis pool, I believe they call it. And there's the other side to it. On the other side.
Huh.
Yeah, those
nice shadow.
What's that?
It's like the YMCA.
Right.
And there's the ship docked.
Nice.
I think that's one of the pictures you put up for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our thumbnail.
We thought it was perfect.
And by the way, the crew, they're not allowed to get off the ship in any port right now.
Oh.
The only one is Coco Cay. So they allow most of them to get off in Coco Cay. They have South Beach is one of the beaches that they're allowed to go to. So the crew, this is where they can kind of get off and let loose, and because you're not allowed to get off in the regular ports.
Oh.
And there's coming home back into Miami from the other side.
How long was your cruise?
Monday to Friday, so it was perfect. We left on that Monday. We were supposed to leave at 9, but we had that hurricane that was coming in.
Right.
Guys and so we left around 7. The captain said, everybody's on board, we're out. And we
looks like you had nice weather from one of the pictures.
The whole week, perfect weather. Just leaving, we left in rain a lot because that's when the storm was rolling in. But after that, perfect weather.
We didn't really see anything from that. Like it was like we thought we were getting a hurricane that was going to hit us in the face, and then, like I think we heard a little bit of a breeze that night, and that was about it. So it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I was so nervous this cruise was going to get canceled. I kept thinking it's not going to go, and everyone's like, "It's going to go,"
Yeah.
And, the weathermen were doing what they do, and then nothing from Royal, not a thing. And then not 24 hours before, it says fill out your health questionnaire. And Monday, I just went to the port. Getting off the ship, very easy, no paperwork needed, unless you're not a U.S. citizen. So very easy. Then, that's when you will need your passport because you get off, and it's all computerized. You look into the screen, just put your passport up, and that's it. They tell you go left or go right. You want to go left, it means you're safe. Going right means you're going to see somebody. Walk right out the door. They had dogs walking around, but for drugs, I guess. But yeah, it was very easy to get off.
It sounds like I know some people are nervous about cruising right now, but it sounds like it was an overwhelmingly positive experience.
Well, not only because I haven't been cruising in a year and a half, so you had that excitement, but it was better than I had ever remembered. I mean, I've always loved cruising, but it was just 10 times better, I think, with all the new changes. The mask did not bother me. A lot of people, I won't wear a mask. It really didn't bother me at all. It really didn't. And, just to being back and going to the different restaurants and bars and the shows, I mean, everything was the same except the masks and less people, But everything was, Coco Cay, when I went there in 2019, half the island wasn't even done. So at least this time, everything was open. Those bungalows, I mean, they had everything wide open now, which is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if anybody had any questions or anything in that.
I didn't see any questions pop up.
Well, should we get to the cruise creature then?
Are you ready for it?
I think so.
Are you ready for it?
We are ready.
All right. Well, as we tend to do, we ask our guests if they have a cruise creature that they would like us to cover. And Adam, you said, well, it's Shark Week. And now in the past, we've done whole episodes dedicated to Shark Week. And those that know me know that I have very mixed feelings about Shark Week as it is a thing that airs on the TV. There's a lot of information on there. Not all of it is very good.
No.
Some of it is. There are definitely some quality things, but I thought, well, we've covered a few different shark species on the podcast. We did an episode that was on sharks, but you can never get too much of sharks. And so I thought for sharks for this week, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to kind of, instead of focusing on one particular species, to focus on a couple aspects of sharks that I think often gets overlooked. And those two things really. One thing I want to focus on is shark diversity. And the other thing I want to focus on is conservation, because I feel like those are the things that Shark Week has really been missing. And so let's start with shark diversity.
Okay.
There's a lot of sharks.
Like 300.
No, more than that.
I know. I just picked a number.
Do you know how many different species of sharks there are?
563.
You're close. I mean, there might be. There are at least 500 documented species of sharks. And I think Shark Week covers like 5 of them every year, but
maybe
the same 5 every year. But they do diverse by a little bit. But here's the thing about sharks: there are so many different species, and if you would have asked me how many shark species there were 3 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago, I would have said 400. And it's not like new sharks have evolved in the last couple of years. It's just that humans have been able to study and understand new shark species. So there are more sharks, not because there are actually more, but because we're understanding that they exist and identifying them. The problem is, when we think of sharks, I think most of us think of great whites and hammerheads and bull sharks and tiger sharks. Those are the big sharks. They're the ones that tend to hang out near shore or that people come into contact with. But the ocean is a big place. In fact, some would say the biggest place on the planet. And it is not just a big space, it has a lot of depth. And sharks aren't limited to a 2-dimensional map. They're able to swim down thousands of feet under the water, depending on the species, or they might be up at the surface, and they cover the globe. There are no points of the earth where there is salt water where there are no sharks, and there are quite a few freshwater habitats that have sharks as well. So many sharks. The thing that I think I really want people to understand is that most of those shark species are not these gigantic sharks that we see in documentaries on Shark Week. They're not the great whites and stuff. They're smaller species. Most sharks are under 6 feet long as a maximum length. A lot of them live on the bottom. A lot of them are very slow moving. They fill all sorts of niches and habitats. There are sharks that glow in the dark. There are sharks, well, really they're bioluminescent, but there are also some that show up with different types of vision and stuff. They have different colors that
the one that walks.
Human eyes can't see. There's one that can walk across land. There are sharks that have their eyes eaten out by parasites that don't even need vision. There's just such a variety of shark out there that it is just amazing. So when you're watching those shark documentaries, just keep in mind, if you're fascinated by sharks, they are just barely scraping the tip of the dorsal fin when it comes to sharks. There are so many different species, and they're very, very, very different. So,
what's your favorite kind of shark?
It's hard for me to answer that question because I like sharks in general. But if I usually, when somebody like really puts me in the corner and makes me say an answer,
that's what I'm doing.
I know. I will say it is probably the bonnet head shark, just because that's the shark I had an encounter with as a small child. And I already liked sharks. I already loved sharks at that point. But I mean, I thought it was a hammerhead, but it wasn't. Now, as an older adult, I understand it was a bonnethead shark. But because of that experience, it really just meant even more to me. So, but I love there are no sharks I don't like.
Do you know what my favorite shark is?
Is it?
You should know. I've told you before.
Have you? Is it the whale shark?
No.
No. Uh-oh. What is it?
The thresher shark.
That's right. I did know that. The thresher shark. I have to say a close runner-up for me is the Caribbean reef shark.
I like the mako also.
Makos are very nice, very beautiful sharks. Fast.
Yeah, that's why
Very
they're really
fast
cool.
sharks. Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
thresher shark has that really cool long.
They do have
tail.
a yes. And tell people what that's for. That long caudal tail fin. You don't know what it's for? Oh, Kimbra. I
Like to
know.
hit things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the thresher shark has an exceedingly long top caudal tail fin or lobe. So that's it's like many times the size of their other bottom lobe of their tail fin, and they will literally whip through the water and to stun a school of fish so that they can have nom-noms. You putting up a picture?
I am, because they're really cool. That's not what I wanted to do.
So the other thing I want to focus on, though, while she's pulling that up, is shark conservation, because I really feel like that is something that it gets missed and overlooked. And there's a lot of misunderstandings about shark conservation. Like when you hear about shark conservation, you tend to hear about shark fin soup, which is certainly a problem. Shark finning is an issue, but it is not one that Americans can really do a whole lot about. It's not one that the average person has much control over. There are things that you and I can do to help with shark conservation, because shark conservation is necessary. There are a lot of endangered species of sharks. And probably the biggest thing that you can do, other than maybe like supporting legitimate shark conservation organizations, is to make sure that if you are a fan of seafood, that
Is
you
this a real
are...
picture? Or is
No,
that a
it's
drawing?
That's a real picture.
Just
That
looks
you
very-
are
Okay.
getting seafood that is sustainable. So it's taking you a really long time.
Sorry,
to bring this
well,
picture.
because I thought it was like a cartoon. It just looks very cartoony.
They look hard. So there is the thresher shark that you're getting a picture of. It's called the big-eyed thresher shark. And so, I mean, think about it. It's like an anime version of a shark.
Well,
basically, with
I
these
really
big
like
eyes.
it, and I highly recommend everyone like it too.
Is it up there? You're
Yeah.
putting it up?
Like,
There we go.
look how cute he is.
I mean, it is pretty adorable. It is. There's more than one species of thresher shark.
well, this is the one I like.
So, what is sustainable seafood?
Seafood that is caught sustainably.
That's true. That is factual. Basically, what we're talking about when we say sustainable seafood is there's different ways to fish for fish that people eat. And some of those ways are done in a responsible way. That means that there'll still be fish in the future for us to eat. So sustainable seafood also could mean things like the fishing practices aren't catching a lot of what we call bycatch. So two of the big things that happen to sharks is that they're losing their food sources because of maybe overfishing. Another thing that happens is a lot of sharks are caught accidentally as bycatch and they don't survive that. So if we make good choices as consumers about where we purchase our seafood, that we go to restaurants that try and purchase stuff from sustainable sources, that encourages the commercial fishing industry to use more sustainable practices. And therefore, it's a win-win for everybody. Because if we don't do that, not only will the sharks be gone, but you may not have seafood that you like because those fish will be gone too. So that is the shark conservation tips I have for you.
Cool.
There's a lot of bad information about shark conservation, and there's a lot of things that can be misinterpreted as things that are important that aren't as important. A lot of shark conservation is very specific, like habitat loss, and certain things will threaten very certain small populations of sharks in small areas. So it's easy to get numbers confused and things that are threatening sharks confused. So the best thing to do is find a good shark conservation organization and kind of contribute to them if you want to help financially, or just make good choices. And obviously all the stuff that helps sea turtles and all the other animals, like not polluting, trying to reduce plastic. Those may or may not be as important to sharks, but they certainly don't hurt. So That's our cruise creature for the week. Thank you for requesting that, Adam. I will never pass up a chance to talk about sharks. I've even got my shark cup. But are there any questions you have specifically about sharks, Adam, that I can answer?
No. I think you answered most of them. Somebody in here said that sharks that walk on land are called lawyers.
Those are a different species, and I'm not really concerned about saving them.
Also, we've been informed that Adam is not a shark.
Adam is not a shark. No. It's kind of like my favorite animals, though. They get that sort of stigma, right? Like if you call somebody a shark, it's probably not a compliment.
Right.
And it's the same as like a snake. Like I like snakes. And if you call somebody a snake, and it's like, well, that's not fair to those animals. Like it's not fair to a shark that you would compare them to a lawyer. How dare you?
That poor shark.
Now, you guys work, because I know there's a lot of new people on here. Is it Sea Aquarium or what exactly in Tampa? I know you work with fish and.
Yeah, so we work at the Florida Aquarium, which is in downtown Tampa, and we both work and we call it the learning department. It's basically the education department. So I teach classes, and she books them. So it works out well.
Oh.
So not only does she book cruises, she books classes. If you go to the aquarium and you want to book any kind of organized educational experience, there's a real high probability if you talk to somebody, it's going to be Kimbra.
Like real high probability.
Like almost 100%.
Well, I'd say it's like 70% because I do have someone new.
There is a decent probability that I will be the one that teaches it, but there are other people that teach as well. But yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have anything else?
I don't think so. That was great. Thank you for all that information. That is really good to hear. It makes me feel very confident and comfortable about our upcoming cruises, and hopefully people that are listening out there will also feel more confident and comfortable about cruising, because it sounds like you had an awesome experience.
Yes.
And can't wait to cruise.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on, Adam.
Well, thanks for inviting me. And like I said, in 2 weeks, I'll get to see the other side of it, to see how a fully vaccinated ship, how they operate.
That'll be interesting.
And, now's the time, people, if you love cruising, get back on a cruise ship. They're safe. They're clean. Kimbra and Matt can help you out with your booking.
Absolutely.
Thanks for promoting us. fintastictravel@gmail.com.
And you'll probably see, I don't know, you might see pictures and stuff from Adam's cruise on the new cruise. You could always put them on Fintastic Cruising Community if you'd like to do that. And,
I'll start. I didn't know if I could. I'll start putting them on that.
Absolutely.
Too.
Yeah, absolutely. Throw them on there. Tell us about your cruise.
Yes, and anybody else out there that is cruising, join the Fintastic Cruising Community over on Facebook. And yes, by all means, please, we welcome all photos, videos, questions about cruising, any of your cruise stuff. Keep it nice to other people. But other than that, you're welcome to post stuff over on the Fintastic Cruising Community, everybody out there. So absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. You want to take us out?
Yep. Well, on that note, it's time to head for the horizon. And until next time, seize the day.
Have a fantastic week, everybody.
Bye.
All right, welcome back. The after the credits. For those of you still listening, and for those of you hanging out in the chat, thank you guys for hanging out tonight. What a fun episode. I just want to say this too. This was episode 99. This is our 99th podcast.
That's crazy.
Right?
I
is
saw
crazy.
that. I'm like, can't I be on the 100th one?
So I'm glad you said that, Adam, because next week, of course, will be our 100th episode, and we're going to have probably a pretty big announcement that if you're a member of the Fintastic Cruising community, you're probably going to want to hear about it because it might be something that you would be able to participate in. We'll give you more information next week. Hopefully we'll have that ready to be a great celebration for our 100th episode.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. I'm pretty excited about it.
All right. And now we will just hang out in the chat for a little bit and say hello to everybody that is in there.
Yeah, I'm going to say hi to a couple people that popped on while we were going just to say hi.
Down Under Cruisers, by the way, Down Under Cruisers are probably
live now.
They're probably live now. So once we sign off of here, if you want to have some fun Australia chat, go and check out the Down Under Cruisers. We still need to make that video for them too.
Oh, we need to do that.
Yes, we do.
Your mom was on. I don't know if she's still on, but hi,
hello,
Mama.
Mama.
Sandy.
Real Unc D is on there.
Yes, and Sarah, his girlfriend, was on there too.
Oh, all right, welcome. We may be. I don't know if we're allowed to say anything.
Oh, let's not.
Okay.
Let's let them make that announcement.
Dave and Brandy.
Dave and Brandy.
And Brandy on there. Thank you guys.
If I missed you, I'm sorry. It's not because I did it purposely. I'm just trying to scroll through and I missed things. Austin. Hey, Austin.
Austin works with us at the Florida Aquarium, but he is a long-time friend of mine and an avid cruiser, I might say.
Yes, he's cruised to lots of fun different places.
Mediterranean, Alaska.
I don't know if you saw that.
I think he hasn't been on the Caribbean. He's only been in the Caribbean when he was like a wee pup.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So.
Really? It sounded fine to me. I was watching it on Broadway.
Yeah, I think there was some people. Charles from Clea was in there, which was one of the top VIPs for the Clea.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And then my wife was in there, and a couple of friends were watching. So my mother I think, was in there too. But
very cool. Yeah. Tony says he misses my beard. Yeah, I don't. Do you miss my beard?
I don't not miss your beard, but I like seeing your whole face.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about it, Tony. I've thought about growing it back. When I dive or snorkel, though, I like not having it.
So I get used to seeing you like this. When you grow out your beard, and then it starts to get real bushy, and then you get rid of it, I'm like, oh. And then I look at pictures of it when it was like it needs to be somewhere in the middle.
That's what my mom says.
Yeah.
Too.
Well.
That's
how it is.
Yeah.
Stacy asked what's my favorite cruise line. Royal and I like them all, but I think Royal and Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, because I worked on them, I guess.
I was gonna say you were a cruise director on.
So on Royal, I was a purser, like Love Boat, gopher. They call it the purser's desk. Now it's the information front desk of the cruise ship. So, everybody would come there and bitch and complain, and I hated it. And so I left Royal and I went to Celebrity before Royal even owned them. And I became a cruise staff, and then I worked my way up, and it was night and day. You're now the entertainer, and you're in the club, and you're buying dances, drinks, and you're dancing with people, and it's your job. Calling out bingo, and
Is that's what it was like when you were on there doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, now you barely see. Also, I was working on very tiny ships back in the 90s. They didn't have the ships they have now. So it was different. We probably had 1,500 to 1,800 passengers. That was our, most. Which
right.
Back then was a lot.
Yeah.
But no, Yeah, as a cruise director, that was probably the best job I've ever had.
Was it like super exhausting though? Like, were you like, did you have to go? Like, did you get some downtime?
You get so we did New York Bermuda run, and so when you when you go to Bermuda, you're there all week. So we had, depending on the cruise director, some of them we'd have teams, team A and team B, half and half. So one week you're all on, and one week you all got to go into Bermuda. But then when we did like the Southern Caribbean, we did San Juan and Aruba, like ABC islands. Everybody had to work at night because you're always, you're always going at night. The ship's going to the next port, But yeah, we did back then. I think it was 8 to 9 months on and 1 month off. I think they do 4 to 6 months on now and 4 months off. They have HR on the ship, so they're very strict. We didn't have HR. We didn't have any rules. I mean, a lot different than how it is today.
Yeah. Huh.
So
Interesting.
Brian has jumped on and he has a question. He said, any ship you sailed on still in the fleet, how were the accommodations?
So I worked on the Nordic Empress, and that's gone now. That just during the pandemic, Royal Caribbean sold it. That was my main ship, beautiful ship. The Celebrity Zenith and Horizon, I don't know if they're still around, but when I worked for Celebrity, those were the ones that I worked on. I don't know if they're still around. I don't think any. I mean, they were so small. They might have gotten sold to another company, or I don't know. But I think maybe the Zenith is still around. That's where Celebrity gets the Zenith class from. Was from that ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adam, do you have a favorite area to cruise? Like, have you cruised?
I've never done Europe. So we're going to start doing Europe next year. I want to do Greece, and Turkey and Europe. But I mean, all over the Caribbean I've been. St. Thomas, I think, is my favorite out of all the different ports. I love St. Thomas. I don't know. I just love the port. Just beautiful.
It really is a.
And you guys have probably snorkeled and scuba dived, I'm sure, there.
I've never been there. That's like one of the ports top of my list that I want to get to. I did a
sea turtle snorkel there, and then I went to I've only been there twice. The first time I was there, I went to their aquarium, which is nice. It's a little tiny aquarium, but I thought they did a really good job, educating and stuff like that. So, but what I really liked about St. Thomas was that it just seemed like a fun place. Like, we had time when I went to the aquarium, we had time to like just hang out in that sort of downtown area and just go to some different shops and restaurants and things. It just seemed like a just relaxing, fun place to be in general.
And the ships used to dock downtown in Havenside. So you had all the shops there, and then you hop in a cab to go to the downtown area, which is 5 minutes away. They had a place called Paradise Point. It's still there, where it's like a monorail that goes all the way up to the top. And you have great photo ops, bars and shops up there. When we were crew members, we'd go up there, and there's a Canadian guy that used to own a frozen daiquiri bar. And we just drink bushwhackers.
Yep.
Go back to the ship and call bingo, and we were like plastered. But it was great. Yeah, I think that bar is still there, actually. It may be called something else.
I think it is. It's kind of like the legendary thing that you do, or the traditional thing, I guess, that you do is going. I think I had a bushwhack. I didn't go up because we didn't have time. Last time I was there, we did the turtle snorkel on the catamaran.
Oh, wow.
We didn't have time to go up, but we did have time to go and at the base of it, and there was a little bar selling bushwhackers and had a bushwhacker.
It's still there. I mean, hopefully I'll know in 2 weeks because we're going.
Oh, right.
I'm going to check it out. My friends that just came back said that, there were still shops closed, but he said more was open there in St. Martin than Nassau. So it'd be interesting to see. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
I don't know if there's any more questions in there.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we go ahead and sign off then?
Yeah. Do that.
Okay. Well, Adam, thank you again for joining us. It was really fun, and learned a lot. So, yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. And for those of you still in here or watching down the road, remember, check out next week for a big announcement.
Yes.
Episode 100. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye,
Good night.
everyone.
Night.